So we've been working on the Finley sewer project for several years now. We're to the point where you want to speak to that, we're ready to get funding.
Sure, so as far as the timing is concerned on this project, we have Act 537 plan approval, we're working on the water quality permits and the HOP for the work with state right away. And just forecasting how many months out that might be, it's time to get on the radar screen with Penvest, see what their application cycle looks like. I think they have quarterly reviews or something along those lines, so with the board's direction, we can make contact with Penvest and start looking ahead to the dates where we could get our project considered for funding through Penvest. But by far, Penvest is the best loan funding vehicle for a project because of their super low interest rate. And they typically, at least historically, have always had funds available for these types of municipal projects. So it's a good source, other than grants. Obviously, grants are better, but Penvest is good also.
Okay, and Jamie, do you need any assistance from Frank Palermo in this, or is your office?
Not at this point in time. We will, when we get down to brass tacks, we will need the financial statements from the township to provide to Penvest for their consideration of the final application materials, but initially, no.
Okay, great. So, Bobby, would you be able to put this on the agenda for the board's consideration next meeting? Anybody have questions on that front? And one quick question, Jamie and Sean, would you be able to check into, or give maybe Karen or Bobby the direct report to the H2O2 grant? I know we had applied for that. That was a big dollar grant with the federal government. I know we applied for that right before COVID, so it was put on hold, but I'm curious to see where that stands.
Yeah, that's a good question. The H2O grant, we haven't heard back, and I don't know that anybody's reached out to see. All that got put on hold. The state said, nope, nothing while COVID was happening. Hopefully we're through that now. I'd like to know if we got it or didn't get it. That was for the Mingo Circle Sewer project.
All right, thank you. And moving on to item 3, discuss Top and Felbon subdivision plan. I know this is something we had approved prior, but I understand there was a change made.
Yeah, so this will be on next month's planning department and board meeting for consideration. This is a minor subdivision plan, 2-lot plan, was approved last fall, I want to say in December. The wrinkle came into the fact that one of the subdividers discovered a change that needed to happen in the title. So there was a divorce, husband and wife, and evidently the wife's name was still in the title, so the subdivision was correct as per the change of title. However, because of the divorce, it wasn't correct. So in February, they got the title squared away, which precipitated a change in the plan for recording so that the names were accurate. So the content of the subdivision hasn't changed. They've met all of our review comments. The only reason it's coming back through for approval again is in order for them to record it, the decision date by the board and planning has to be within 90 days of recording. So we'll have no comments at all on it. It's ready for signatures, but as a matter of procedure, it needs to go through planning and board so that the date's current enough for them to record the plan.
Okay, perfect. Any questions from the board? Item 4, discuss accounting report. This was me, I put this on here. I promised the board and the citizens that I was going to do an accounting record, and I was going to go back all the way to 2000 with a one snap sheet accounting of each year where we stood financially and where we were spending in every department. And why do I want to do that? I want to do that to address where we're going, where we've been, why we've been there, and where we're going. I know we get a lot of comments on different projects that we're doing, why we choose different paths in updating areas of the township, and one of the big questions we have is police all the time. We've had many workshops in the past several years on police. We've been advised by several different people in the field that a police department would cost the township upwards of $1 million with all the costs involved. We all know that Union Township disbanded its police department early in the 2000s. And we're, you know, we're building back slowly. We have a full-time officer, and we're, attempting to try to even give the township residents more, which Dave's gonna talk about next. But in that same regard, this is why I wanna do this. I've been working on it. It's a lot of work. I wanna get the board's, approval if you can let me go to Frank Palermo for some help. I don't, you know, I'm sure this is not going to cost anything, but I wanna make sure that I'm reporting this correctly and wading through all these papers. Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve you to work with Frank for the county going back.
okay, I don't even, do we need a motion? This is kind of administrative. Do you want a motion?
Well, only if Frank is gonna submit a bill for his
Okay.
time, so you should probably have a motion on the record.
Okay,
I'll make a motion
okay.
to have Heather and Frank work together to get to discuss, accounting reports.
I'll second that motion.
Ms. Dare?